Hi, I'm Emma, and you're watching My Birthway, and this is my 19 weeks pregnancy update. Um, so this week there have not been that many huge changes. I think I've said that a couple different times, a couple different weeks, because the changes they're not very discrete, like, whoa, that happened kind of things. They're more like, oh, I'm noticing over time I'm feeling more, this and this. So it's not quite as like in your face, obvious changes, I feel like lately. So one of the biggest physical things I've noticed is sleeping is not as fun anymore. I'm sleeping and I'm not like staying up because I'm uncomfortable, but it's starting to become more uncomfortable. And I've been sleeping on my sides and I'll switch back and forth, but the switch is kind of what's hard. Because even before I got pregnant, if I lay on my back for too long without my knees bent in different angles, my back gets kind of stiff and my hips like feel like, whoa, they're stiff and I kind of can't move. So I have to like push off of Jason to kind of roll over enough to get momentum to get to the other side. And it's in the middle of the night. He's used to it now. I just push off of him every time when I'm moving. But so I've been doing that, switching back and forth between the sides, but I have been waking up more often because rolling over isn't some sort of unconscious movement anymore when I'm sleeping. It's like a concentrated effort. So that's been happening, but I'll fall back asleep immediately. So it's not really a big deal. It's just like less appealing to sleep straight through the night than sleeping straight through the night, and those of you that don't really, because I've spoken to some people just in their regular lives when they're not pregnant happen to wake up every time they move when they're sleeping. I think my dad was telling me that that's how he sleeps. He never just rolls over without waking up a little. And I'm like, oh, wow, I guess that was me, but now it's not me anymore. So another thing I've noticed too is I've been really thirsty. And I've been drinking plenty of water, I think, throughout the whole pregnancy, but this week especially, I've been super thirsty. So I'm imagining that that's because I'm growing a lot of extra blood this week or something like that, and my blood volume's going up, and so I need extra water to feed that new growth. And then the other big thing that I have noticed this week is not really a physical thing. It's just my emotional state, my response to getting bigger. I love it, except I can't lift as much stuff as I could before and carry as many things at once because I'm sort of like this expert but ridiculous like stacker of 20 things, like, 6 egg cartons stacked on top, propped up against my head, like walking up the steps. And I can't really do that as well anymore because I'm used to using my body parts, even my stomach, as like a landing place for weird shaped items or just different things, even like heavy items. And I can't do that anymore. And I can't lift like straight up heavy things anymore. I'm still lifting. I'm just not lifting like 50-pound bags of feed or anything. And so, and I don't really want to because I know it's not the best move right now if it doesn't feel comfortable, which it doesn't. It doesn't hurt. It just feels like my stomach is in the way. But I'm just not used to it. I'm not used to asking for help, and I have to ask Jason for help with stuff, and it bothers me. I don't like it. Even before I was pregnant, he would get mad at me for like trying to move some ridiculously heavy thing by myself, that he could move by himself, but it would still be really hard. And I'm, trying to do it all by myself. And, I'm just like that. I just don't like to ask for help. And I kind of push the limit of what's probably the best for me to be doing, at least as a non-pregnant person. So I'm trying to be conscious and not do that while pregnant, but it's tough because, like even one of these pots we have, this huge cast iron pot that's filled with, soup or whatever. It's like really heavy. And when you hold stuff out from your body, it's harder, like out here, because you're using all your back and your stomach muscles more. And I'm used to being able to prop heavy stuff up against my stomach and like just, pull it up against me, and it's easier, but I can't do that now because it hurts my stomach. And it still also stresses me, I feel like, to hold it out here. So I just have to ask him for help, which is really annoying to me. And he's fine helping. He doesn't mind. He'd rather help me than me not ask, or he wants to help. But it's just not my personality to be like, hey, help me lift this thing. I am anti needing help with that. So that's just been kind of tough because even though I know it's normal and that's the way it is, and it's going to be like that more and more, I'm going to be getting bigger and bigger and be able to lift stuff less and less, partially because of the bulkiness of a stomach, and not even so much that I'm incapable of lifting the weight. That's kind of what it is right now. And I just have to get used to it. And it's a little hard adjusting because it makes me feel less self-sufficient. But I mean, if there's one thing I've learned while being pregnant is like, it's hard to do it alone, you know? Like, I'm so glad I have a person with me and multiple people in my support network to support in physical, emotional things, you know? Especially physical things. At least right now, that's kind of what I'm needing the most. So I'm just really lucky and grateful that I have people that I can rely on in my life. And when women don't have that, it's not great at all. But other than that, things have been great. I've been feeling fine. I still feel really lucky that this pregnancy has been pretty much like just a breeze, you know? I mean, I look back on different videos, different weeks, and I'm complaining about this and that, but it's still like such a small thing in the grand scheme of the overall pregnancy, that I'm, you know, at this point in the game, I can really only look back on it as pretty much all positive, even though I had the nausea period and stuff, because it's like an exciting adventure, and nothing has been too like, whoa, too much. You know, there's been certain days where it's like, oh, this sucks, but it's not like I don't feel tortured or anything, you know, like that. So I feel really lucky and grateful about that. But that's where I am now. Things are great, but I'm just still trying to adjust to needing more help. And that's where I am now. So thanks again for watching. This was episode or 19 weeks update. And I'll see you next time for 20 weeks. Okay, thanks. Bye.